So there's a new app now, just been released in Italy, and wow, it looks like China's social credit system, which kind of looks like the mark of the. But what happens is if you sign up for it, the Smart Citizen wallet is going to be there and it's going to give you points for things that you do right. And it's wonderful. If you use the app, you'll be rewarded for things like recycling, using like buses, managing your energy well, and not getting fined for any of those things. What they're going to do is give everybody a virtuous behavior point. So you'll get a score, you'll win points, you'll be able to spend on various awards such as discounts and free cultural activities. Oh, man, it is going to be great. It is. Now, they did say no one, quote, obviously, no one will be forced to participate. Oh, okay. All right. And I think that's great. I think we should probably trust them because it's ridiculous to think in 2007 that the housing market would collapse. That's ridiculous. We never bail out the big banks and leave the little guy behind. The caliphate, what? That's a conspiracy. Trump will never become president. And the military would never purge red staters out of their ranks. I mean, why would they do that? Oh, yeah, we're going to pull out of Afghanistan and leave people and equipment behind. Right. And you're saying that I'm going to tell you we can't define what a woman is? You'll actually believe that there'll come a time where you are ostracized because you say men can't get pregnant? Oh, my God, you're crazy. You're crazy. This is not a tracking, China mark of the beast. It's not anything. You're nuts. I mean, it's like the people who say, oh, Antifa and BLM, they're going to burn cities to the ground, and then they'll be called heroes by the media, and then they'll be bailed out of jail by the person who becomes the next vice president. Right. Oh, yeah, and our schools are going to teach CRT. Yeah. Right. Look, believing that these things could happen, that this is not some just innocuous kind of thing that will help people, is totally believable. And to not believe it, I mean, then you'd have to believe like the FBI and DOJ and DHS would target parents as terrorists, or teach transgenderism and turn our kids against parents beginning in kindergarten, or the FBI would abuse the FISA courts. And then if they did, you're expected to believe that there wouldn't be serious consequences. Right? That's like believing that we're going to shut down the entire economy over the whole globe. Oh, yeah, government's going to come in and tell you when to shut your business, and Americans will just take it. They'll shut their businesses down. And then if they don't, the cities will come after them, wait. What was that theory? They're going to close down your local hardware store, but they'll open the doors of Home Depot because that's a safe zone? Come on, that's crazy. Oh, yeah, and they're going to start, suggesting that we round those people up. Or, what do we do with those kinds of people? It's like the climate deniers. Yeah, we're going to arrest them. There's no inflation. It's transitory. Wait, you just said that there was no inflation. No, it's transitory. Okay, were you wrong? Oops. No. Squirrel. ESG is a conspiracy theory. It's only for your information. That's it. We're never going to apply this. This is so you know what you're investing in. We're never going to hold companies or states or countries hostage by it. That's crazy. So anyway, definitely not the mark of the beast.
Digital Angel, don't be scared. It's not the mark of the beast.
No way! Digital Angel is just like your favorite slippers. Comfortable, consistent, and like a tracking device with an internal injected barcode so satellites can watch your every move no matter where you are or what you're doing. And why waste time with those pesky, hard-to-remember first and last names when your friends can just scan your forehead for your identity? It's Digital Angel!
Digital Angel.
Warning, resistance is futile.
But it's not the mark of the beast.
And by the way, don't worry about, because there's nothing anybody can do about inflation, and it's not going to get out of hand. And even if it does, Joe Biden, he knew. He said this is going to cost the American people an awful lot. It's going to be hard. We want to stand against Russia. We're going to pay a heavy price for it. And gosh darn it, we all knew what he meant by that. Every American was like, yeah, okay, sure. Eggs, according to the USDA this week, eggs, in the fall could be $1 a piece, $12 a dozen. We all knew that. They explained that to us. Hey, you might be paying $8 a gallon for gasoline. We said, damn the Russians, right? Am I right? Inflation where you don't have the product because we all agreed people should get money from the government to stay home and not go back to work. We all voted for it. We all agreed. We knew, and they were very clear with us. Hey, it's going to cost us a pretty penny. We've printed too much money. We've done crazy things. Hey, let's send $58 billion over to Ukraine. That's just, $7 billion more than the yearly budget for Russia's Department of Defense. But let's send that over to that crooked company or country, and don't worry about the accounting. We'll all figure out. Oh, and by the way, it was 58 trillion, and then last week I think they had to add a few more million to it, and then yesterday the president said, "My gosh, we need to send them another $700 million." Why don't we just give them an open checkbook? Let's just give them the country's credit card. Because we're in. I don't care if we are paying $15 a gallon for gasoline. I'm in. And I don't have to worry because I have an electric car. Don't pay any attention to the blackouts that they're now saying are coming this summer, but only for 2/3 of the country. So that's good. Jamie Dimon, by the way, he's preparing J.P. Morgan Chase, the country's biggest bank, for what he describes as an economic hurricane, and advised investors to do the same. Quote, I said there are storm clouds, but I'm going to change that. It's a hurricane. We're fine at the moment. Nobody knows if the hurricane is just a minor hurricane or a superstorm Sandy. But I'd recommend to everybody, you should brace yourself. JP Morgan is bracing ourselves, and we're going to be very conservative. The only time they've ever used conservative. We're going to be very conservative with our balance sheet. So that means you're going to stop giving loans to people. I mean, unless the Federal Reserve is interested or, BlackRock is behind it. Okay. All right. Well, that's great. He said right now it's kind of sunny. Things are doing fine. Are they? Oh, I forgot. He lives in New York, so he doesn't have to pump the gas for his black sedan that picks him up. So he should ask his driver. Of course, he would never talk to somebody, that far down. I got to talk to my driver. What? I'm working right now. We're funding things to replace that person in the front seat. I don't want to talk to anybody. I want a robot to do it. You know what I mean? Talk to my driver. That's a scream. He said, we've never seen anything like this. We're looking at something you could be writing in the history book for the next 50 years. Oh. Huh. He also said quantitative easing backfired, including the negative interest rates, which he called a huge mistake. Oh, well, it's a good... See, we've been saying that forever, right? Since, 2008? We've been like, hey, don't go down that road. But we didn't know what we were talking about. No, we didn't know all the systems. We're just too stupid. We didn't go and get our economic degree where we were all taught to think exactly alike. We're just a bunch of hillbilly hicks. We couldn't have seen this coming. And Jamie, don't you dare talk to that man in the front seat who might have seen it coming too, because you knew he was a boob the day he picked you up the first time in that black sedan. By the way, nice black sedan. It's electric, isn't it, Jamie? Anyway, it didn't make us right and you wrong. It just made you weren't as right as you usually are. And we're still wrong. I don't know why, but we're still wrong. He said oil is going to hit $150 to $175 a barrel. By the way, the Western economy is built on the fact that oil will never sustain over $100 a barrel. That's how our economy works. When it's $100 a barrel or less, everything functions. When it's $150 a barrel and it's sustained, it doesn't function. When it's $175 a barrel, we've never considered what that means. Now, I know you're just a bump on the log like me, but let me click the switch. I want to ask you, how long does your family survive with $12 dozen of eggs and gasoline at $8 a gallon? You know what? That would be an economic emergency. Hey, I got an idea. What if we get into a situation where it's an economic emergency, a food emergency, an energy emergency, a war emergency, and then there's riots on the streets because we're in an election emergency? You know what we got to do? We got to hope the president will declare an emergency. Well, people like Jamie Dimon, who know better, know for a fact that's a conspiracy theory, and that will never happen unless you actually read what the administration is working on. And I'm going to give that to you in about 15 minutes, so don't go anywhere.